Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and after a brief hiatus, I'm back to the Blind by Blasphemies, where I go through and listen for the first time to things that I've blind bought over the years and let you know my thoughts on them. So I've got a stack of 7 here, so let's get right into it. The first one, Eight of Spades, Driven by Hate. This came out 2010, Pervade Productions. Nothing I've ever heard of. This is a French band. I would say metallic hardcore / punk and roll. Very remind me of like Motorhead crossed with Propane kind of, but very much in a good time vein. Lots of short, fast songs, like 2-ish minutes. They do stretch out to like 4 minutes sometimes, but the average song length is like 2.5 minutes. The very kind of catchy and fun sing-along choruses. It's a lot of gang vocals in the chorus. And I think this Driven by Hate is is not very appropriate an album title for this. It's way more fun and like booze and chicks and stuff like that. So if you're into like melodic hardcore stuff, I would say give this a shot. It's cheaper and dirt everywhere. I think they have one before this and one after this. They're a little harder to track down. And this isn't the kind of thing that I'm going to kill myself looking for all their records. But it was an enjoyable listen. So, yeah. Let's see. Got some notes here so I don't forget. Next one is Levin Rudis Miniman. A Prague, obviously. If you know these guys, you know it's Prague side project. Levin Miniman Rudis, I'm sorry. That's the order of the names. Tony Levin, most people will know. King Crimson, Peter Gabriel, 1,000 other acts. Then we got Marco Miniman, who I wasn't as familiar with, but he's a legendary drummer / multi-instrumentalist. And Jordan Rudess, most famously of Dream Theater, kind of the shredder of the keyboard world. From what I read about this, Tony and Marco recorded most of the like basics of the tracks and then kind of sent them off to Jordan to put his magic on them. This has a jazzy feel to me, and I could be way off as to what jazz actually is, but jazz to me in that there's a central melody in each of the songs that then they can kind of play around with and can improvise off of. There's 14 songs. It's about an hour long. So nothing is way too long. I think the longest track is like 8 minutes. There's a lot going on, but it never overwhelms you with just complexity for complexity's sake. There's a point to each song. There's a central melody. And if that's just, you want to just enjoy that, you can. If you want to follow along with all the crazy intricacies, you can do that too. I was really impressed with this. Oh, this is basically instrumental. There's like a couple vocal lines at the very end. So for an instrumental prog project, you might be rolling your eyes at the thought of that, but this was really fun to listen to. And on the first listen, I liked it. It wasn't the kind of thing that you have to delve into 12 times to figure out what's going on. But it's also the kind of thing that you're going to get more out of the more you listen to it. So, yeah. Levin Miniman Rudis. I was very, very pleased with this one. All right, next, we'll talk about metal for the first time in a while on this channel. Infidel, Destruction of Mecca. This came out on Butchered Records, which was a subsidiary of Severed. So you kind of know what you're getting. You're in the brutal death metal realm. This is 2008 or 9, I believe. I did not write that down. So obviously that's the title, the cover. These guys, their focus is anti-Islam. I don't know. I know people get really uptight about that. From looking at the lyrics, it didn't seem to be any kind of racial thing to me. It was more criticism of the religion, but I didn't investigate every individual member and find out, what they've been into. So I guess proceed with caution if that's something that bothers you. As for the music, it's kind of middle of the road. As far as brutal death metal, it's not that brutal. It's more, I guess, on the more palatable end of brutal death metal. Guttural vocals, but it's not completely punishing the entire time. Yeah, I guess the songs on this one aren't quite there for me. The solos are really cool. I really enjoyed the soloing, kind of chaotic style guitar solos, but they made sense. It wasn't just random nonsense. But yeah, this isn't something I'm ever gonna come back to. So this will be going in the VCLT pile for somebody eventually. Then I did not expect to like this one at all. Penumbra, The Last Bewitchment. This came out 2002, yes, on Season of Mist. And if you've been following these blind buy videos, my Season of Mist blind buys have not gone well. I've not liked many of them. And this shitty early 2000s Photoshopped cover, not great. And it's a chick on the front, so I'm figuring Beauty and the Beast, and I was right, it is Beauty and the Beast. But this is really good. A friggin' completely crazy production. There are 7 members of this band, official members of this band, on this album, and 13 guests. They've got a full choir, string section. So hearing that, you're gonna know this is bombastic and over the top, gothic, symphonic. It's but it's super professionally done. We've got the female vocals, of course, one main one, and then one kind of guest female vocalist, kind of in the operatic style, and then some like death and black metal vocals going along with it. It's just a really exciting album to listen to and really holds your attention. And I was expecting to be tired of it by the time it was done, but I was not at all. So yeah, if you're into Beauty and the Beast stuff and you don't know Penumbra, they have other albums. I believe they're still going. This is the only one I've heard, so I can't speak to the rest of them, but this one I really enjoyed. And again, it's cheaper in dirt out there, so check it out. This one was odd. Very odd. Phasm, I guess it was. Phasm, a French band. Oh yeah. These guys are French too. I tried to remember to mention that, and then I don't. Phasm with Antebellum Death and Roll. This came out in 2006 on Osmos. So with a name like that, I figured it was, what it was going to say, what it said in the title, Death and Roll. But it's really not. It's all over the place. Very genre hopping. I mean, I heard there's some groove metal, there's some black metal parts, there's death and roll, some doom parts, and some kind of like countryish parts. This is rough. It's great musicians. They're all like vets of other extreme metal bands. And it's certainly an original album. I've never heard anything quite like this before. But this goes in the category of a quality record that I did not enjoy listening to. Track 5, My Darkest Desire, that was kind of like a standard death and roll song. That was kind of what I expected it to be. But that was kind of the outlier. The very next track, Damballa, was very long and moody with like theatrical vocals and sound effects. And to me, every song in here sounded like it belonged on a different album. And you know what? It might have just been what I expected to hear, and I didn't hear that, so it struck me the wrong way. I can see a lot of people really liking this, so I'm not slagging it for sure. It just wasn't for me. I also wanted to show this is just like a hype thing covering the actual booklet. I took the booklet out, so here's the booklet. I guess they want to cover up the skeleton naughty adult time on there. I don't see how that was so bad, but okay. But the booklet's really cool. It's got like comic book illustrations for each song. Yeah, just a super well put together thing, and the musicians are great. It's just, I don't know, I didn't like it, so maybe somebody else will. All right, a couple more here. Next one is a band from Detroit, kind of in my neck of the woods, a couple hours away. The band is called Tiles. This is their debut from 1994. This is actually a reissue with some bonus tracks. It's on Inside Out. A store local to me that pretty much only stocks vinyl, or mostly stocks vinyl. Sarah, get that up a little there. Sorry. I just happened to wander in there, and they had a ton of Inside Out and Frontiers and kind of that style power metal / prog stuff, and they're all like $2 to $3 for a CD. And this band Tiles, I know anything about them, but they had 4 of their albums, and they were $2 each, and it was on Inside Out. So I was like, oh sure, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, this was a really cool surprise. Basically, think early '90s Rush, like kind of Roll the Bones type. Maybe Presto as well. Just really fun, kind of commercial prog rock. Nothing crazy technical. But obviously excellent musicians. There's a lot of really cool bass work on here, which I found strange because they had a session guy on this and didn't have a full-time bass player yet. But yeah, really fun. If you're I guess sensitive to homages / ripoffs, the song Scattergram I really liked, but it has like the Limelight guitar sound, like exactly. I couldn't unhear it. But yeah, if you're just looking for like kind of that 90s Rush style prog rock, and you haven't heard Tiles, check them out. I don't know. I'll obviously be exploring more because I have more of their records, but this debut is really good. And the last one I got here, this was a blind buy, I believe, from Bindrune. I don't know. Cover looked cool. It was super cheap. It's on Northern Silence Productions. This is Undivine Into Dust. This was 2008, I believe, or 9. Swedish band. And this is one of those that I liked, but my description isn't going to do it justice, because what I wrote down basically was, hey, do you like Dissection and Sacramentum and you miss that sound, then check this out. And it's not meaning that they're ripping that off, but it's that kind of melodic death metal with kind of a black tinge to it. So that kind of style with a more modern feel. And these are another band full of veterans that know what they're doing. And I wrote down for this, dare I say classy? Like it's just a classy, professional black death metal melodic album. Yeah, definitely one I'm going to be listening to a lot more. This is just my first listen, but on first listen, all the songs had their own character and stood out from each other. So yeah, this is Undivine Into Dust. I think they have another album too, and they are now on hiatus, but haven't done anything in over a decade, so I don't know. Yeah, guys, so thanks for hanging with me through all the non-metal content, and hope you enjoyed these blind buys. Thanks a lot.